Hey, Teddy K here for Best Buy Plugin, and in this video review we take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e, Samsung's latest premium tablet for whatever it is you want to watch or read on it. Samsung likes tablets, and they've made another one to add to the roster in the Galaxy Tab S5e. At first I thought this would be a successor to the Tab S4, but it's not. Actually, they're kind of separate. So the reason for that is because they don't share the same functionality. The Tab S4 could work with the S Pen, this one does not. That one was also, I think, portrayed as a kind of consumption / productivity device. Samsung doesn't necessarily make the same case with this. This is, I think, more about content consumption than anything else. That's certainly the way I use it. Yes, you do have the connectors, so you can put a keyboard case on it if you want to use it that way. You can do that. It does support DeX as well, which is Samsung's desktop software that works on its various devices. You can do all those things, but frankly, I don't know. I just felt like this is just a device that if you're looking for a tablet, you want to watch a lot of video, you want to take it with you, this is one that might be worth considering. As Samsung has been prone to do over the years, they have sort of, chopped down the bezels a little bit around the display. It's a nice display. I mean, 10.5 inches. It's quite vibrant. It's Super AMOLED. I have no issues with the screen. The screen is beautiful to look at, and so no issues there. I love the weight. So the weight of, we're talking about 400 grams here for a tablet this size. It's very, very nice. And even though it's a little bit delicate, I would definitely advise some kind of a case if you're going to take it with you, especially if you're commuting or you're traveling. But the weight is great, and the fact that you can hold it, I certainly held it for longer periods of time and, didn't feel any fatigue. The AKG tuned speakers that basically flank, now I'm holding the tablet in portrait mode here, but basically there's two here at the top and then two at the bottom. So if you're holding it in landscape mode like this, right, then the speakers would be on either side. They're pretty loud. They're pretty clear too. I definitely like the way that they sounded. Didn't really have an issue there. There's no headphone jack, by the way. Just want to point that out, that there is no headphone jack. You can use an adapter, and it does come in the box. So if you have a pair of wired headphones and you want to use them with your tablet, no problem. You have an adapter that you can use to do so. But the speakers, sometimes I found were not necessarily placed in a way where I could avoid muffling them with one of my hands. Not necessarily a huge issue, just something to consider when it comes to using the tablet without any kind of headphones, when you're just letting the sound go on the speakers that are built in. One other feature that I thought was kind of interesting was the call and message continuity. So this is a feature that works primarily, or actually exclusively right now, with the Galaxy S10 phone. So S10e, S10, S10 Plus. And the idea is that if you are making or taking calls or messages on any of those devices, you can actually do the same on here. So for example, let's say you have your phone charging in one room in the house, but you're in bed and you have this thing, and a call comes in. You can take the call on this. Instead, you can even make a call. So if you missed a call and you want to call back, you can actually do it on this too. Same thing with text messages. The one caveat is that you have to use the built-in messaging app that Samsung uses. I wasn't successful in using Google Messages or WhatsApp doing the same thing. Whether Samsung expands it to those apps is unclear. Right now, though, if you're just sending basic text messages and things like that, you can do it through the tablet. It's pretty interesting. It's a neat feature. The fingerprint sensor on the power button is another feature where basically, again, Samsung just brought something over that it's done on other devices. The S10e, as you know, has that as well, so it's kind of a similar technology that they've put into this tablet as well. Other than that, there's a micro SD card slot you can expand, so you get 64 or 128 gigs in internal storage. Snapdragon 670 processor, not bad. So again, I found the tablet pretty speedy, but again, I wasn't really doing anything crazy on it. Most of it was just watching a lot of streaming video, streaming media, editing some photos, things like that. Web browsing. It was great for doing all those things that you would typically want in a tablet anyway. So, and then again, I go back to the weight. The weight was just great. The front-facing camera is all right as well, so if you're looking to do video calls with a tablet, you should be totally fine doing that as well. The rear camera is the same as the Tab S4. I don't shoot photos with the tablet anyway, so that was immaterial to me, but just know that if you're expecting an upgrade in camera performance there, not really going to happen here. So other than that, I mean, battery life is great. You know, when Samsung said it would last 14.5 hours, I was a bit skeptical. I remember when Samsung had the Tab S3, the battery life was one of my biggest problems with that tablet. Vast improvement with the Tab S4, even better with the Tab S5e. Not really surprised because, again, the internals are good and optimized for good battery life. And for the most part, I don't know that you might get the 14.5 hours if you're sticking to like 50% screen brightness and not necessarily pushing the speakers too hard. But either way, you would easily be able to get through a 10-episode show on Netflix or Crave or Prime Video without having to recharge. And that's really cool. So if you're looking for a tablet that can at least last without, you know, dying as you're going like kind of binging on a show, you should be fine here, because I certainly was. And that's my review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e for Best Buy Plugin. I'm Teddy K. Thanks for watching.